guys. We really hope this will record properly. It looks like it's right at my face, so yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I mean, I gave you on a can too upset with me because I've been giving you shorts, and I gave you like 5 videos in 1 week. So I hope you're not too upset with me. But you know, I want to get back into YouTube and posting just random videos. So today I wanted to have a little heart-to-heart with you guys and be a little vulnerable about what has been going on in my life. We haven't had like a session like this in a while, so I feel like it's, you know, the end of the year. Let's give you guys a little update. So where do I start? I only have like 20 minutes, so I hope I can, you know, get this all in. Where do I start? So this year has been a very rewarding, surprising, challenging year, and you know, I'm grateful that I made it through. I'm grateful for the experiences of this year. It has been overall one of the best years of my life. Despite all the challenges, I've seen more consistency with my business, which is something that I really prayed for. With entrepreneurship, there is so much uncertainty, and so when you are able to, you know, learn your trade and figure out the tricks of the trade and find consistency, so you have, you know, a way to meet your monthly goals and take care of your monthly responsibilities in monthly, yearly, whatever it is. That's a good thing. That's a great thing. I've been doing business for quite a while. I've been registered for 3 years, and wow. I've been registered for 3 years, and I've been doing sip and paint events for almost 3 years. So when you find something that sticks, you know, and it works, it's like, let's see how much, you know, how much I can milk it. So I'm really grateful for where my life is in terms of my business. It's not peaches and cream every day. There are still challenges. However, for where it is now, and knowing it's really kind of mostly a one-man game, it's just rewarding to know that I do have support. I do have support from my family, my spouse, and my friends. I also have an assistant now, so that is phenomenal. And you know, so we can take on more events. But yeah, so that's great. That's great. At the beginning of the year, I found love, and yeah, that's all I'll say about that. That's all I'll say about that for right now. Yeah, but then something I really wanted to share with you or be vulnerable about, and as you guys know, when I post these kind of videos, there's always a lesson within my experience that I want to share, which is why I would want to share it with you. So about, I want to say, oh my gosh, it would probably be around June, July, I don't know, but mid-year, I was home, and I remember one night I was going to bed and I felt my wrist hurting me. And as you know, I paint, and so I was like, okay, maybe, because sometimes you'll have artist strain and what have you, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's because I've been doing a lot of painting, and I've now gotten another contract where I do pre-sketched canvases, so I'd have to do like now it's at 160 per month, thank God. But at the time it was like 60 per month. So I was doing that, and sometimes I try to stretch out the amount of time I spend on these things to, you know, ensure that I'm not exhausted or overworked. But I remember one specific time I had to do 60 in one day. And that was really tough. That was really tough, but I did it. Anyway, so that's why I was like, okay, maybe I've been doing too much underhand, so maybe that's what's causing it. So like it started in my right wrist. I had pain in my wrist, and it was unbearable to the point where I couldn't sleep. And I'm like, this is not feeling great, you know? So I started to, lay low on paintings, and it was coincidental at the same time I had my assistant joined. So, he was able to take on the weekly gigs that I have. And then the pain started to spread, and this was in a matter of a week. So the pain started to spread, and I'm like, God, what is this? I'm thinking that my hand just tired, but no, this started to feel serious. So it started to spread from my wrist to one arm, the entire arm, and I'll mostly feel it at night. And I said, no, sir. This is something different, something that I was not prepared for. So, I was talking to my sister about it, and she was like, Kadeen, I think you need to go get some blood work done. And I said, really, do you think so? Anything like that? And she said, Kadeen, you need to get some blood work done. This could be like rheumatoid arthritis. I'm like, no, absolutely not. Because, in 2019, I got a referral to get tested for rheumatoid arthritis, and I just neglected it and said, I was like, no, I'm not accepting. So I didn't do the test. So now I'm like almost in denial, like, okay, can't be that, because no. Because in between 2019 and now, I wasn't feeling any pain. So I'm like, it must God. Or it must not have been in just on one time thing. By the following night, it spread to the other arm, and I'm like both arms just lying there in bed every night, just like, what is going on? And it felt almost like, I'm gonna try to explain it. It felt like my veins were expanding to the point where they would burst. Like they felt as though they were gonna burst. It felt like my whole arms were just gonna expand and just explode. That's how it felt initially, and then I started feeling in my legs, and that's when I was like, alright, I'm gonna go get the blood test done. So, I'm laughing because I'm really uncomfortable. I don't know what's that about. So, after it spread to my arms, to my legs, and I'm starting feeling my toes, and I realized, okay, mostly joint pains, but I'm also feeling muscle pains as well. I just feel, and I felt so weak, and I was constantly tired. I'm like, couldn't get through the day. It was a lot. So I went to the doctor. I called the rheumatologist, and I was like, I need to make an appointment. They were like, Miss, do you have a referral? I'm like, no, but we just know say this. So she's like, okay, you need to get a referral, because obviously I have to do blood test. We didn't know there's something. We just feel like, okay, we just need to go an appointment and get it done. Anyway, so I went to the GP. He gave me a referral, and I got the blood work done. We get it done late because I didn't want to accept it. Oh my God, I didn't want to accept it, but I got the blood work done in August. Yes, in August. But during this time, like the pain just gone within itself, And I'm like, this is too much. I can't deal with this. And like nights and mornings were horrible. I couldn't sleep. It was like, and I was so angry. I was so angry. Worst, I was sharing this information with a relative of mine who is a nurse. They're in the medical field, and she was like, Kadeen, this could be a hazard of your trade. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then she just started sending me some articles that say that paint is toxic and it could lead to development of rheumatoid arthritis or other autoimmune diseases in people. And I'm like, ain't no way, God. Like, you can't decide, say, you're gonna give me this. Like, I was so angry. I was angry at myself. I don't know if I was angry at God. I don't want to say I was angry at God. I was angry at myself, because I'm like, you took this risk to decide that you want to do this. One, so you're going to do painting and give up, working for people and say you're going to do this for the rest of your well, you're going to go into business and this is where it's starting. And I was angry at myself too for taking so long, because I remember someone telling me, say, I got the referral in 2019, and I was angry at myself for that. And I'm like, if I had done the test in 2019, probably wouldn't get up on the side and make a ton artist full time. You understand? But God, God doing thing, God doing thing, because there's a reason we never do it back then. Because if I did it back then, this is 2019, pre-COVID. 2019, 2020, one of the time before COVID. I remember it was before COVID. So if I had done the test then, there are certain risks I wouldn't take. And going through what I went through in COVID, there's absolutely, I don't even know if I would have made it with that, information. So this come at a time when I guess we could have mentally handled it. I don't know. But, so when she said that to me, I'm like, Miss, I get angry at everything that existed in my life. And unfortunately, that anger and irritation just, spill out into relationships, and people who were not supposed to feel it felt it. And I don't think I was like lashing out at people too much, but like I'm very irritated by everything. Because why is it that when something is finally working for me, like I've been trying businesses for years, and I'm like, when something finally didn't work for me, it's finally working, it's finally paying off. This is when I'm gonna be given this to say, all right, maybe I'm gonna take a step back from something that I truly believe is my purpose. Like, ain't no way. So I start get angry, and obviously I gotta go through all the 5 stages of grief. So I was really angry at first, and I was in denial, and then anger, and it was like, just upset, very, very sad, and I constantly wanted to cry because I was so overwhelmed by the news, the facts that I have a business to run, and it's like, okay, this is my only source of income. What am I going to do? Anyway, we did the test, and I'm going to be very careful with how I present this information. So I did the test, and the test results came back that there was rheumatic and arthritic traces or whatever. So it is present. I may be very careful because I don't want to claim nothing. So it is present. And so I was like, all right, okay. Now that we know that it's present, what do we do from here? And I feel like that was the part that's most challenging, was because now I have to go decide, what am I gonna do? So I was given painkillers and so forth, but the first set of painkillers were not working, and I'm like, first of all, what? And second of all, I don't want to be dependent on medication. I'm never one to, because one, I don't like take pill, and another stretch of vulnerability. There was a time when I was going through, and I used to have this. I forgot probably, I don't know, but I used to have intense abdominal pelvic pain, and so I would be given a lot of pain medication to try, and I was given a lot of pain medication to try, and it's like they were not working, and then I went through something really traumatic, and for me, mentally traumatic, emotionally traumatic, whatever it is, and then I overdosed. I took all the pills, and from that time I was like, I don't want to have pain medication around me, because I don't want to feel like, okay, I'm gonna come near the end of my life and just decide to or feel like, I can't do this anymore and just take it what I feel. I don't want to do that, so I'm just trying not to. And I didn't want to become dependent on pills. So I'm like, all right, let's find some alternatives. So I started some research, and the first thing was like, okay, I'm gonna change my diet. So the only thing I knew in the beginning was to get rid of everything with gluten. That's a huge adjustment for me, because I'm mostly on the road. So when I have events and so forth, we can't go just stop anywhere and buy something to eat. You have to go prepare your food and carry it with you, and sometimes I don't have time for that, because if I prepare for the event, one time I have to prepare food. You understand? And at the time, I said we only knew about the gluten. So I said, all right, I'm gonna cut out the gluten as best as possible. And so that was that. And then I did some research and found some herbal stuff that I could drink. So guinea hen, chimamaka, verbine, guaca bush. So my grandmother sent me a lot of those, so I would have those teas, and that really helped. So cutting out the gluten, drinking the tea really helps. So I'm just like going in my life and trying my best. The pain was still very present, and it's like, all right, may I adjust, and slowly, and I found myself not painting. I found myself scared to paint because it was difficult to hold the paintbrush, which I think may disclose a lot of people. So like holding the paintbrush, you can't even say it. Holding the paintbrush was so difficult, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? I'm not ready to give up from a dream yet, and a time yet. Like, what is this? Anyway, I did have some moments of suicidal ideation, I must be honest. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I have had experiences with depression and suicidal ideation. So I thought I was like, I don't want to say it. But you know what that means. I don't want to say it. So it was really tough, and emotionally it was a lot, because it's like physically you're feeling the pain, and like I feel like having this kind of thing being sprung on you, like you don't really know how to manage or how to maneuver. It's not something like a fever and you say, all right, you take the pill, or a headache, or you take one pill, or you go sleep or drink water and the headache gone. It's something that you constantly wake up with. You're always in pain. Like when I wake up in the morning and I'm in pain, and the nights are so horrible, and so it's like this, you're constantly in a pain. How are you supposed to be okay? Like I'm constantly in pain, and I'm always irritated because it's like the pain, I don't know what to eat, and like emotionally it's just a lot, and you are expected to just continue with life as is, even though you don't feel pain, because pain is not something that you can see. And so the first couple of months were hard, and then so I got the test results early September. I went away in October, and then when we came back, I had my rheumatologist appointment, the first one. And when I saw her, that was my next story, because when I went there, it was a very thorough and very detailed experience, very long, and I appreciate the time that she took to see me. Very nice doctor indeed. So she confirmed what the blood test said, and also that she was saying that the muscles feel tender, so there's also fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia basically a byproduct of rheumatoid arthritis. So because the joints are inflamed, then the muscles are not affected, and then the nerve muscle problems. So sometimes I'll be feeling fibromyalgia pain, but not like joint pain. And that in and of itself, like, just gruesome, because the fibromyalgia, it makes you so irritated. You're constantly tired. So imagine you're in a pain, you want to sleep, you're weak. How is that going to affect you mentally? Like, you can't think straight, so it's like, all right, getting all of that news. And then in the session, she said to me, like, if you want to get pregnant, we need to know. Something I said that, but when she said that to me, like, if you plan to get pregnant in the next year, we need to know so we can determine the course of treatment. That's when I realized how serious this was, because I'm like, okay, people can have diabetes, hypertension, and what have you, and you get your medication and move on with your life. I mean, with diabetes, of course, you know that. Yeah. I mean, I think every woman is at risk. I don't know if every woman, but I don't know what I said. But let's get back to the thing. what she's saying basically is, depending on whatever treatment, I may or may not be able to get pregnant. And if you don't know me, I do want to have children. And that in that moment, I was like, I know someone want to have children. I know I want to have at least one, you know. And when she said that, like, it's like taking away the opportunity from me. And so anyway, then she also told me the other things that I should not be eating. And I'm like, okay. So she confirmed the gluten, no fried foods, no processed foods, so no processed food or added sugars. So yeah, no sugars, no added sugar. No tomatoes, no potatoes, no Irish potatoes. Dairy, she says I can eat that probably once a week, but because I'm a sinus, just no dairy. And I was like, potato miss, like, I just want to eat fries right before I come at this appointment. You know? No wonder me don't feel the kind of pain, because it will take away the gluten. And then, anyway. So hearing all of that now, and I'm like, what the hell? When we go, can't eat. What can I eat? You know? And yeah, I walked away from that appointment having way more tests to do and just all sorts of confused again, because I'm like, I mean, it was thorough, like, you know, finally say, okay, this is what we're going to deal with and we're going to get through it, but like, also, what am I going to eat? And what this mean for me? But I don't know how much time I have left on this recording, but it was very eye-opening. And one thing, like, I remember one day I was really frustrated on me. So like, after the appointment, I'm like, what am I gonna eat? I was like near tears. I'm like, what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna eat? And I remember like venting to my spouse, and he said to me, I understand what you're going through, but look at it this way. Look at it as a way to rediscover food. As a matter of fact, like, look at it like a joyous journey to rediscover food and figure out the things that you are able to eat, because you have a wide variety. And then he said to me, like, truth be told, people should be eating like you. And him saying that was like, all right. that really helped me to be like, okay, I can get through this. And somebody has said to me, well, cutting is just something that you can manage, just like diabetes or hypertension. It's not a death sentence, but you can manage it. But yeah, so you can manage it, which is true. It's something that can be managed. But I'm still not claiming anything. The fact of the matter is, though it's not a death sentence, it's life altering, and it does change your life and who you go about life. I'm not able to just when go down to the store and buy anything to eat, but go to any restaurant and eat anything. I'm not the friend that's like, can you do the wings without flour? Can you do this without that? Do you have any gluten-free options? I remember going out with my friends one day, and we went to a Chinese restaurant, and I'm like, is there anything here that does not have soy sauce? And then the guy was like, no, everything has soy sauce. So I'm like, okay, you have to leave. And that felt really, I never liked that, because of me, they didn't get to experience, this new restaurant. And I'm like, I didn't want that to be a part of my life. But the good thing is, I have supportive friends who are like, all right, Kadz can't eat this, so we'll adjust. And I really do like that. Today, because I am not consuming the things that I'm not supposed to be consuming, I've lost about 5 pounds, and I am not eating as much as I should, but also like I'm not in as much pain, and when I wake up out of my sleep, and just whatever. But I think the lesson that I learned from this is God is able, and I think I've said this many times, God is able to use anything and any experience to get you to where He wants it to be. I have been saying for years that I want to change my diet, I want to start exercising, I want to this and I want to that. never to do any of that. And know that this is now present in my life. These are things that I now have to do. I have to be in bed by a certain time. I have to try and prioritize exercising. I have to stay hydrated. I have to eat a particular way. And because of these new life changes, it's giving me more clarity, mental clarity, and it's giving me a balance that I need and understanding what to prioritize. Because if I don't prioritize those things, I'm going to be in pain. It's like a whole 180, because it's like, all right, you don't want the pain, so go to bed early. Don't consume things we're not supposed to consume, including like things on social media. Things will go stress you out. So minimize stress as much as possible. Prioritize peace and prioritize exercise and drink a lot of water, eat clean. You know, we can't live long. The goal is for me, because my next appointment is not until February. So my goal is to not be on medication. You understand? I don't want to be given something that is going to affect something else. Like, we don't want to give me something to treat this and then tutus may have kidney problems. No, we don't want that. So my goal is to create a lifestyle where I do not have to be on medication. And so this new life for me, has no birth, a discovery per se of a new me. And I'm not looking at this journey anymore as a daunting one, but as an exciting one to see what else is to come. The beauty of life is that we're ever changing beings, and we should be given the grace to change. And even if people don't give you the grace, you should be able to give yourself the grace. And I feel like in the beginning, I was not, learning of this new diagnosis, I was not accepting, and I was not willing to give myself grace to change or to alter or to adjust and adapt. And now I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, you can still do what you have to do. You don't have to give it up. You don't have to give up your job. You don't have to give up your purpose. All you have to do is make some changes within yourself, and then you can see some sort of results. And I think this is applicable to everything in life. Everything in life. If it is that you want a certain kind of result, then your mindset has to change. And sometimes it means if your mindset is going to change and you want a certain kind of outcome, if it is that you say, all right, this is what I want, it's probably going to require you to wake up early. It's probably going to require you to drink more water. It's probably going to require you to show up more in places that you are uncomfortable. But the good thing is, when you give yourself that chance, you're going to be so glad you did. And I am so glad I am giving myself a chance to live, not accepting this diagnosis. I don't want to say that, but I am accepting the changes that is coming with it, because it's like, yeah, this is a lifestyle that I did want. We want to start exercise and drink more water, but we never did that, So God said, here, do that. And it's something that, as they say, can go in remission. I don't really like that word, but it can go in remission. And yeah, that's what we're hoping for. So with that, I want to take you guys along the journey with me as I rediscover myself and rediscover what am I gonna eat, and create and find new recipes. In our friend given the other day, I asked for a food processor, and I asked for we had the option. We put 3 gifts. So I had asked for a perfume, a food processor, and a vegan cookbook. And I got the food processor and the vegan cookbook, like the things that I needed the most. So we are going to be creating new foods, and we are going to be, finding out things that work and understanding or learning things that don't work, and we can move them aside. But yeah, that is what's going to be happening next. So I am excited. So I'm going to carry the supermarket with me, carrying the kitchen with me, and sometimes when we go out, we'll see. But yeah, so that's what's up. That's what's up. And thank you so much for chit chatting with me. Thank you so much for. I don't know if we can have wine anymore. I probably can. And she never tell me I can't drink alcohol. So